Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and quick review of these solar floodlights with 100 watts output with a 32 watts solar panel, IP67, 5000 lumen of light and battery capacity of 36,000 milliampere hours and 196 pieces of the LEDs. So that sounds pretty impressive. So let's see what's in the box. So that's the inside of the box, and it looks like it's very well protected, which is really good. We buy such expensive stuff. And that's the solar power, solar panel. As you can see, it's huge. So this is really massive. This is definitely not a toy. We have to be careful. There's cable behind that. That's the good thing. We get a pretty long cable, so you don't have to have the light really closely attached to the solar panel, because sometimes you want to point your light to another direction than your solar panel is. The solar panel has to face more or less south, but the light maybe you want to point to north side of a tree or whatsoever. So it's good to have this really independent with a long cable. So with the next layer, of course, we get the second part or second major part of this set, and that's the light itself. And you can see how impressive this is. I mean, my hands are not super small or super large, they are intermediate size, and you can see how large this light really is. That's impressive. That's not a toy, that's not something really small, that's impressive size of a light, definitely. And we also get the remote control, and we get even some batteries for the remote control, and here a lot of screws, which we'll need definitely to attach this massive light. So I already took it out of the box, removed the protection, and you can see how nicely built that looks. That's really impressive, and the amount of lights you can see here. We check the back, try not to touch it too much. So that's massive metal, it's heavy, it's definitely not plastic. Yeah, that's quite a thing. And here we have some instructions, specifications, explanation of the remote control, some installation details, so we can see that. That's also good if you maybe lost these instructions and you are watching this video to see the instructions. If you don't need them, you can fast forward for a couple of seconds. Troubleshooting as well, and some other tips and some attention. Hope I can show you that. So that's now it regarding the unboxing, and now I will put it on and try and see how this works. So this is how I set up the whole system. So it's the location is at a nearby tree, really close to the home, but not directly on the home. The reason is I had some light directly at the house, and it attracted a lot of mosquitoes, and every time I opened the door during the night, the mosquitoes tried to enter the home. So I needed a strong light a little bit further away from the home, and so that was the reason why I bought this whole system. So I found these three really close, and yeah, so I mounted these two brackets to this tree. You'll see a little bit more in detail how I did that. So you can see the brackets are quite bendable. I was a little bit worried about stability, but there was absolutely no problem. And the good thing is that they are not too strong. You can really bend them around an object which is not fully straight, like a tree which we have here, but it's still super stable. You will see that it's absolutely no problem, no reason to be worried about that. So yeah, the thing is, I use my own screws, and I will tell you why. You can use the original screws which come with the system, no problem with that, but I found it just a little bit easier. So by the way, I used the second largest screw of this combo. Can't unfortunately tell you which one it is, but the good thing is this solar panel has some kind of a thread which you can use with such a screw. So you can really hold the panel with one hand and use the other hand to drill the screw into the frame. I mean, not really drill, just rotate it and screw it in with one hand. There's not too much resistance. You don't need a screwdriver or something like that for the first couple of rotations. That makes it super easy to give it a first good hold. And when you have added these two screws on both sides, the solar panel has a good it's already good mounted, and then you can grab your screwdriver. So if you are alone, then it can be a huge advantage to use these screws instead of the original screws. But apart from that, of course, the original ones fit better inside. I will show you that later on. This is what you see inside. These are the nuts from my own system, and as you can see, it's a little bit tight in the back. So if you are using too large nuts, you can then damage the solar panel. You have to be really careful with the original ones. There's no such risk at all. So just be careful when you use your own nuts. So this is like how it looks with my screws. And the thing is, when you use the original screws, the nuts will be inside this rail in the frame. That's the advantage, but it's difficult to access when you're up on a tree or on a ladder. So I found my screws a little bit easier. Maybe it helps if you're in a similar situation. If you're mounting the whole thing down on the button, like to a post or something like that, then you don't have the problem. But when you do the thing up on a high ladder, yeah, maybe that's easier. So anyway, as you can see, everything stays really stable, no problem with that. We had even a strong thunderstorm with high wind, a lot of rain. It was no problem at all. The whole system didn't move a bit. So this is how it looks really finished. The weight of the solar panel is not so heavy, but the light and the battery, I mean, there's probably an ultra heavy battery inside, and that's a really heavy weight. But you can see it is holding this weight easily, but you have to use really strong screws. You don't want to mess around with mounting that, otherwise it could drop to the floor and be damaged. So here I was using 3 screws. Maybe I should have used 2 more. There's still time to do that if I have the impression that it's not stable, but I think it is holding up nicely here. And as you can see again, it was I have been able to bend it a little bit around T3, which was really really convenient. Same thing from here, and I connected the two cables, and there was even much more cable. I was first a little bit worried about the length of the cable, but the cable is really long, so that's really convenient. If you have the solar panel on the south side of something, you can easily place the light like on the north side of something. Really large object shouldn't be a problem. That's a really good thing, or on different altitudes or whatsoever. So this is how it looks now. Looks really stable. I'm absolutely not worried. Yeah, I turned it on during the day. You can do that, of course. And yeah, here I'm showing the original screws, I mean the anchors, and yeah, these are the screws and the nuts which are intended for the solar panel, and these fit actually inside the frame. That's the advantage, but it's probably a little bit difficult to hold them when you have just one hand left. If you're holding the solar panel and you have to hold the screw and you have to hold this, it's basically too much. So yeah, here just showing the instructions if you need that. I'm not showing them too long. You can stop if you need details. Use high resolution to check everything. Here we see the remote control, which is super easy. Yeah, just basic things, but it has actually everything you need. The really good thing, it has a light sensor which turns the light on when you click auto, and then you can choose a specific length if you want. You can run it the whole night, or you can just press auto and then a time which says okay, after dusk it will run for 3 hours, 5 hours or 8 hours, and you can choose the strength of the light. So yeah, it's super bright. Even at half light it is quite strong light, definitely on off. Yeah, I don't have to go into detail. Yeah, here you see my screws, which I've been using into for going into the tree. Yeah, so this was definitely enough. I have made good experience with these screws. I had them just in my drawer, so I'm usually using these when I have to do something really strong, attach something to a tree or something like that. They have been doing really well in the past. So here you see, just a couple of hours after I mounted this on a tree, we had a really strong tropical thunderstorm, and there was absolutely no problem with the mount or with the rain. So it's definitely waterproof. I mean, not to dive or something like that, but against rain, absolutely no problem. After the rain we had nice rainbow and everything dried up, and yeah, this is how it looked after that. A few pictures, and here even with the golden hour, doesn't it look really nice? I mean, everybody who saw this installation was really impressed. I mean, not from my installation, but the system, really, it looks really professional, really large panel, large light. Yeah, that's really impressive. Definitely way beyond any toy or something like that. This is really a professional set here. And yeah, let's go forward a little bit toward dusk. You can see, yeah, here we have the, I think that's the sensor or a charging indication. I don't know, it was really blinking red on and off till sunset. I don't know if that is a charge indicator. I thought the remote sensor is here, so I'm not sure about that, but I'm not worried that there is something wrong because it was working really good. So we are getting close. So here it starts really where you can see the light. I mean, there was still some natural light, but it made it easier for me to make the picture while there was some light remaining, but you can definitely see how bright this is. It is illuminating the whole driveway easily, and the really good thing, it does it the whole night. I have been checking on my security camera the whole night. I mean, yeah, like this morning I woke up and I checked back on every hour, and I've seen that it was running the whole night with actually nothing changed, more or less full power. That's it. So it goes more or less to defense, maybe a little bit beyond. I hope the neighbor is not worried, otherwise I will point it down a little bit more. But the good thing is it really illuminates my whole driveway up to the door, and it attracts all the the insects to this light and not to my door anymore. So that's it for now. I hope I was able to help you a little bit with that. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And I will definitely put down the link to this really nice product into the description, so you can read more about that, see maybe more pictures, and you will be able to order it right from there on Amazon. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.